celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Al Abrams and Judy Francis.
And the whole dream team is here at your beck and call, and it's toll-free, 1-866-405-8405. You'll connect with Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, to help you with your dog problems, or Dr. Debbie with your vet medical problems. Knows a lot about cats and iguanas and all kinds of things. She practices in Las Vegas. It's really hot there today. That's why she's sometimes in an irritable mood, and today she's bitching because one of her clients brought a cell phone in. It went off during an examination, and they took the call.
I think that's a legitimate complaint. I would be a little upset, too.
I would be, too. Vlade will do that occasionally. His phone will ring, and he'll start, we're on the air, Vlade. You know, there's a live show across the country.
Nobody's that important.
You should do what I do.
I'm sorry.
You know, like when you're in the grocery store and someone is in the aisle next to you and they're talking really, really loud on their cell phone, just join in the conversation. If they're going to be that rude and talk that loudly around me, then guess what? I'm going to throw in some real colorful language to give them a hint.
Hey, you going to buy that tube of rash ointment right there?
Really? Honey, here's that butt gel you were looking for.
Well,
teaches them real quick.
Dr. Debbie can also answer your vet medical questions. I was off on a tangent there. Animal communicator Joy Turner and dog father Joey Villani also here today. Interesting show. We have Ed Asner on. We also have a guy that thinks he can talk to animals. We'll let you be the judge.
Understand what the animals are saying.
We'll let
you can translate.
Yes. You be the judge, the listener. Also, there's more recalls in the news. Frustrating.
Never good.
No, it seems like the last 5 weeks we've had recalls. Felines Pride raw food this time. So, and I understand Merrick, who I guess it was maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, there was a recall.
Back in January.
Was it January, that long ago?
It was on their dog treats. And now the FDA has sent them a letter that says, hey, still haven't, well, I'm paraphrasing. You still haven't cleaned up your act or proved to us that you have, in fact, cleaned up your act. So we'll have the facts of that coming up in the news and see what Merrick has done in response.
The oil spill is causing trouble for the shelters down there. I understand they're full because of the oil spill.
They're beyond full, according to some of the rescue organizations in New Orleans and in the entire area. So there's a couple of interesting ways that you can help out, and we've got some information on one of the animal rescue organizations in New Orleans and what they're doing to help the people that are now out of work thanks to BP's oil spill. Help those people keep their pets.
Okay, Ed Asner will be joining us in just a few minutes. And the AKC, this is the American Kennel Club, they have their list of dogs, purebreds. Mm-hmm. And for years, the rat terrier...
Recognized breeds.
Rat terrier, which I think is a pretty popular breed as far as I know. I
can't believe it hasn't made the list
hasn't
yet.
Been on the list yet. But there's some really weird named ones that are on the list, and Bobby will be reporting that. I just don't understand, you know.
Go and look at the pictures. They're very pretty dogs, Hal.
Ed Asner on the way. What are you working on there? Are you surfing again? Are you even working?
You know, I found this story, and it is news-related because there is an aminal in it, an alligator, that apparently took a stroll about 2 in the morning in this nice little German town not far from Berlin.
Can you imagine if you just came out of a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning and you saw that?
Exactly my point. Apparently, at 2 a.m., a bystander called in, said they had just seen an alligator walking in front of the motorcycle shop in the center of town. Now, you wouldn't respond to that. You'd start laughing, and that's exactly what the police did in this little town of Groß-Rohrheim on this Reuters story. But they got there, and sure enough, 3.5-foot-long alligator cruising. They called the local dog catcher, and he assisted, and they successfully got the alligator back into custody, found out it had escaped from a local circus that was visiting a nearby school. So the gator that went on the midnight stroll in Germany was returned safe and sound.
And that guy will have a story to tell the rest of his life.
No kidding.
Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe.
This healthy helping of Animal Radio. Sorry, Elvis. Brought to you by Blue Buffalo, makers of healthy and holistic natural food for dogs and cats. You'll love them like family. Feed them like family with Blue. They have a brand new high-protein, low-carb Blue Wilderness dog food. It's better than ever because now they're made without the grains that contain gluten, so you can be sure your dog is getting all the meat he loves in a 100% grain-free recipe. It's Blue Buffalo. Thanks, guys, for sponsoring Animal Radio.
celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani. Bobby working on news and another recall. Yeah, I know, huh? Seems crazy. Animal communicator Joy Turner. Crazy, man. Honing her skills right now in Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. About to answer your calls toll free at 1-866-405-8405. Dr. Debbie's a little ticked off today.
Again?
I know. She's, I don't know what it is. It's really hot in Las Vegas, I guess.
Well, this is the only place she has to vent, Hal. Let her vent.
Okay. That's fine, because I think she has a legitimate venting process. Do you know what she's talking about today?
No.
Cell phone calls that interrupt her visits with her patients, and I can completely understand, because not 30 seconds ago your phone went off and you just took off out of the studio.
That was a studio phone.
This is a radio show. Vlade does the same thing. During the middle of Vlade's segment, he'll answer his cell phone.
Turn off your cell phone, people. I'm with Hal on this one, because I find that cell phones are a necessary intrusion into our lives today, so I really enjoy turning mine off.
I know, nobody's that important that they have to be able to be reached 24/7.
Except for me, of course.
Well, yeah, you, of course. Now, this is true, because you're the news gal, and I'll allow you to answer the cell phone here at Animal Radio, because you might be getting a news tip. But Dr. Debbie's right. She's with a patient, the phone goes off, the patient starts talking about their weekend plans.
Ooh.
She walks out of the office. That's her policy.
You know what's worse is I was at a doctor's and they took a phone call and started talking about their weekend plans. That's even worse.
That's wrong. I start billing them at that point.
See what we've become here? It's decided that it's all that technological stuff, Bobby, that you're mincing with. That whole, it's the devil, it's Satan. I tell you, Facebook is the devil.
Facebook is Satan. Hal said it, not me. Send your emails to Hal at animalradio.com. He won't get them, though, because he doesn't know how it works.
Well, every once in a while, Bobby will help me answer my email. No, I know how to answer email, silly. We have a guy coming on today. You know, every once in a while, we'll have somebody come on and say that their animals talk and they can understand what they're saying. Like,
and then we look at them sideways.
Well, sometimes we listen to them, and they record it so that we can hear it. I remember the one that had the, I want my mama. Remember that?
But that was really... Okay. Go ahead.
See, that could be possibly misconstrued as I want my mama.
Sure sounds like it to me.
So we have this guy...
It could also be any one of a million background vocals from a Motown hit, so go ahead.
Okay, so we have an animal communicator guy coming on today that says his animal... He can talk to any animal. In English.
He understands
animals.
What they say.
And he's taped him. He sounds a little bit like this.
Amigo is a neat old dog. I could tell he was extremely sensitive the way he was looking at me. I went up and I asked him this. Are you going to tell me stuff? Tell me what's on your mind. Okay, and then out of that, using my techniques and a computer program, I pulled out what I think is the intended message, the expression that was really most bothering him. Here it is 3 times.
Okay, what do you think the dog was saying, Bobby? Do you have any clue?
What in the heck? Sorry, it's a family show. I have something about horse sewer. That's what I heard.
Horse sewer?
Horse
sewer.
The dog was saying, "Where's Sheila?" Anyway,
I heard horse sewer.
He'll be on the show with us in just a few minutes.
He'll be a fabulous guest.
Yes, he sure will. Also, Ed Asner joining us today. Very excited about this. 1-866-405-8405 if you want to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani or Bobby. Animal communicator Joy Turner and Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. The first voice you'll hear at 1-866-405-8405 is Judy. And we have Daryl on the phone. Hey, Daryl, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Where are you today?
I am just outside of Chicago.
Outside of Chicago, are you a trucker?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you travel with your animal?
Well, that's part of what my question is about.
Okay.
I want to.
You want to? Well, I have the good doctor right here, Dr. Debbie.
Hi, Dr. Debbie. Well, my other dog got really... My other dog is a Akita Great Pyrenees mix, and the truck was just too small, and she got a little depressed in my truck, so I took her back home, where she was happy. And I have a husky at home.
You have a what? You have a what at home?
A husky.
Husky.
Husky. Okay.
And we rescued him off of Craigslist about a year and a half ago. He's 3.5 years old. We're his fourth home. And he was only about 39 pounds when we got him, which was extremely light. You could feel his backbone and his hip bones and stuff. And we tried for about a year to put weight on him. We tried anything and everything we could think of, cooking hamburger, cooking chicken, changing his dog food. And finally, for about the last 4 months, he's eating well, and he's up to about 50 pounds. And we took him to the vet, and all his tests came back negative. They tested him for a whole bunch of stuff, blood tests, and they could find nothing in the blood test or physically wrong with him. And I was just wondering if I'm looking at possibly a psychological problem, and if I take him out of the home and put him in my truck, am I going to encounter the same thing? Because I certainly don't want to take a step backwards.
Mm-hmm. So is he currently at 50 pounds right now?
He eats right now. He's not with me right now. He's at home with my wife. He eats on a regular basis now. There were times before where he would eat well for a week or two, and then 4 or 5 days he would just barely nibble at his food.
How much does he weigh right now?
He weighs just a whisker under 50 pounds, 49.8, I think, was the last time my wife weighed him about a week and a half ago.
And so are you thinking that you want to take him to travel and are concerned that he might lose weight, or I'm not quite sure?
Well, I would like to take him in my truck with me. We have a 50-foot lead, and I could get him, exercise in between my loads and while I'm taking my breaks and whatnot. So that's not an issue. My concern is, if it is a psychological problem, is he going to go back to not eating while he's on my truck, and we're going to have to go through this whole process all over again.
Yeah, and I guess it's probably hard to honestly even predict that for you. What I would probably say that I'd ask yourself is, how does he travel in the vehicle? Because if he's a nervous traveler, I'm not probably going to recommend that you turn him into that kind of lifestyle if he already has some anxieties about eating regularly, or if things kind of get him off his food within a controlled home environment. But if he's a pretty able-bodied traveler and he doesn't get overly anxious, doesn't have any kind of potty behavior issues when he's traveling with you, then I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that. And some dogs, it can be that they maybe don't eat as much because they don't do as much and they don't have as much stimulation or physical activity. So if getting in the car means he's going to be doing more, seeing more, maybe getting more exercise, I don't know how much you stop at the rest stops, but that could be a good thing for him in one aspect. But I think you really have to look at how he does behave in the normal household setting as well as in the vehicle to make that decision. And obviously you'd want to stay on a set schedule, regular feeding times, have that be reliable, keep the food the same, and try to not vary some of those routines that he knows very well from being in the home on the ground environment.
Okay. As for riding in my personal vehicles, he loves to go for rides in my personal vehicles. He'll, especially if he knows we're going to the dog park. He knows that word thoroughly. But he will. He loves to ride. He'll stick his head out the window for the first 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then he just curls up and goes to sleep in the back. And every time we walk by our personal vehicle, he thinks we're going for a ride and is right at the back end, ready to jump in.
Well, then, you know what, Daryl, I'd say I'd give it a whirl and see. Maybe plan if you can coordinate a short trip or a smaller trip, see how he does with that and see what the eating schedule is. But if he really enjoys that kind of interaction and activity, I'd give it a whirl.
Okay.
Thanks for your call today, Daryl, at 1-866-405-8405.
As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest by providing the latest news, information, and products for health, wellness, comfort, and mobility. At SeniorPetProducts.com, you'll find everything your aging pets need, from vitamins and supplements to diapers, boots, and accessories that'll make their senior years more comfortable, all at the lowest prices available. Thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we at Litter Robot are pleased to announce our new spokescat, Cousin Vinny the Cat.
Thanks. It's good to be here with you guys talking about this here Litter Robot that automatically cleans up after us cats do our business.
And what would you like to say to our audience about the Litter Robot?
My owner seems to be saving up lots of cash now that he's not buying so much cat litter. Plus, I don't have to put up with that stinking litter box smell no more. With Litter Robot, I get clean litter every time.
Right, Vinny. The litter robot saves on litter and eliminates odors.
And seriously, the chicks dig it.
Okay. Vinny, where can our audience buy a litter robot?
Well, you gotta go online to the Litter Robot website and order one. Them Litter Robot guys don't even charge you for shipping.
That's great. People can just order a litter robot online at www.litter-robot.com. Animal Radio listeners can now save $20. Just enter Animal Radio as the coupon code when checking out. Thank you, Vinny. We look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Yeah, anytime, pal.
We get lots of food samples here at Animal Radio, so we can be picky about selecting a healthy food. If you're a regular listener, you know Ladybug is one finicky diva. When we got a sample of Stella and Chewy's, the healthy ingredients were there, but would she eat it? I'm here to tell you, she ate it as fast as we put it down and begged for more. We feel good about feeding our dog Stella and Chewy's, and we want you to try Stella and Chewy's too. Visit StellaandChewy's.com or call 888-477-8977. That's 888-477-8977.
This is
Animal Radio.
When we run into a product we like to share it with you, such as world's best cat litter. We want you to try it free. In fact, I'll give out a bag right now at 1-866-405-8405. But if you don't get through, it's all good. Head on over to the website at animalradio.com and get a free bag of World's Best Cat Litter. Just click on the World's Best Cat Litter logo.
What a deal. That's some good stuff.
Free. Yeah, free's a good deal. Except that you'll be hooked.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one problem there.
Your cat will be hooked, hopefully, too.
It's good stuff. We've been using it for years and years, like 10 years.
At least 10 years, yeah.
Started even before the show, I believe we've been using it.
Mm-hmm. And it's eco-friendly, too. I like that.
Yeah.
And Ladybug loves it.
She does. Ladybug thinks it's very flavorful.
Yeah, she likes it. It's a snack.
I don't think that's a selling point.
Yeah.
I think we should stay away from that selling point. But get your free bag of World's Best Cat Litter over at the website at animalradio.com. I believe we have Kathy on the phone. Hey, Kathy, how are you?
Hi, good.
Do you have a cat?
We have a cat named Fluffy, who is a long-haired, kind of mutt type of cat.
What type? Yeah, do you think she'd like to try out some World's Best Cat Litter?
I think my husband would like to use that instead of what we're using. That'd be great.
I'll tell you, I'm going to send you some, okay? Is that okay?
Thank you.
Okay. So what's going on with the cats?
Okay, Fluffy is about 12, 13 years old. He's a long-haired cat, and he licks a lot. About a year ago, we started having a good bit of trouble with him throwing up. And so we took him to the vet. We got him on prescription food a couple of months ago, 3-4 months ago. We got him on prescription vitamins to try to stop this. I mean, we know some of it is normal, but some of it is not normal. And we just wonder if it's because of his age or there's something we can do for him so he can stop throwing up all the time.
Okay, and is that pretty much what he's doing, or is there any diarrhea problems on the backside?
No problem on the backside, thankfully.
And you said he was on a prescription food. What is that geared for? What were they going for, a high fiber, a hypoallergenic diet?
Hypoallergenic diet.
Okay, fabulous. I like it already. I like that. Well, it's good that you tried that. Now, was there any kind of diagnostics, any testing that was done along the way?
Yes, there was. And I'm sorry, hold on one second.
Yeah, there was some diagnostic testing done, and he checked out okay. There was, some talk about maybe some hypothyroidism possible because he doesn't gain weight. He's eating a lot, but he doesn't gain any weight.
He's been losing weight over the past month or two.
Okay. Well, in his age category, I like that we tried a hypoallergenic trial because that is a very sound way to approach things. Now, if we've had the component of vomiting and weight loss in that age group cat, I really would look for a medical reason for that. And you mentioned a thyroid problem, and that's very possible. In cats in their older years, we can see a hyperthyroid problem where they eat a ton, they lose weight, but the thyroid prohibits them from really gaining any weight. So if that wasn't part of the workup, I would definitely look at that, or there's even secondary tests that we can recheck the thyroid. But we also look at other things, kidney disease, diabetes. And in some older cats, there's some concern for inflammatory bowel disease and kind of like early GI cancer or lymphoma. So there is the possibility we could have something brewing inside the wall of the intestinal tract. That's hard to know off of the simple test, blood work and x-rays, which would pretty much be pretty standard if I have an older cat like that. So the simple things I'd say is make sure we exhaust all those blood work diagnostic steps that your veterinarian has recommended. If the dietary trial hasn't done much for him, then we have the option to either look more aggressively for the ultimate cause, and that might entail, looking down with a scope. Endoscopy in animals is readily available, and it can allow us to take samples, take a look in there. If there's a hairball, we'll see it, but I doubt that's the problem in your kitty here. And then we can look and take biopsies. In other cases, we may do other modalities, things like ultrasound or even barium studies to kind of look at the intestinal tract. But if you're not interested and not looking in that direction, then in some cases there's other types of medicines that we might try to see if it makes a benefit. And in kitties, a lot of times I will do B vitamin injections that can help with some of the type of chronic intestinal diseases and try to get them in a positive state. In some cases, if we're worried that they have inflammatory bowel disease, we might try something like prednisone, which is basically how we treat that plus diet. So I think that would be the big deciding factor for you there, Kathy, is how far or how aggressive do you want to be to get that diagnosis? And really to get to the bottom of that is going to be, I think, the best way to find out how to treat that vomiting. Because there's oodles of causes of vomiting in cats. And in an older kitty, they kind of get to the more complicated.
Okay. All right. Well, we were hoping not to have to go and do a lot more extensive testing, but it's like we've exhausted what we can do with just diet and vitamins. So
okay, well, I hope the vet can help you there. We're working on a technology where you can hold up the animal to the speakers, and we'll be able to figure it out. But we haven't fine-tuned it yet. So until then, the vet's your next best thing to help you figure out what's going on. We appreciate your call today, Kathy. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now. Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, is here to answer your most vexing questions. And he will. He's a godsend. He's helped us train all of our dogs and even our cats. And he's actually trained me a little bit, which is...
well, you're still a work in progress.
I still mark my territory often.
Spray around, all that things, put the socks all over, and, but I explained to Judy how to train you well,
I'm coming along. Hey, Maureen, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, how old are you?
I'm 21.
You sound so young. Does anybody ever tell you that?
Yes, all the time. They don't take me seriously.
I love your accent. Doesn't say, are you in L.A.? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from L.A.
Doesn't sound like an L.A. accent. Sounds a little bit southern.
Hell, you're such untrustful to her.
South LA.
South LA.
She has the wrong age. She has from the wrong
way
city.
Off today. Well, I have Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, here, and he can help you with your most vexing dog problems. What's going on in your world?
I have a dog, and he's scared of people, and he looks really friendly, so children run up to him, and they want to pet him, and he gets frantic trying to get away from them and causes a scene. And whenever we have guests, he hides under tables and he doesn't want to see them. And he's always been like this since a puppy, and it's really been hard to acclimate him to other people and dogs. And I don't want this to turn into aggression. Mm-hmm. I talked to another trainer, and they said to throw treats at him when people come, but that hasn't seemed to work yet. And so I'm not doing what to do.
You know why? Because another component needs to be applied. When the guests come in and throwing whatever they suggest, cheese or hot dog or whatever you are throwing, the dog is still very insecure because he's in the huge space. Being in the huge space, it's for the human sleeping in the big bed without any blanket. What you need to do, you need to confine your dog before you allow the people come in. So here is what you need to do. If somebody knocks the door, by the way, what is the breed? What is the breed of the dog?
He's Alaskan Husky, White Shepherd.
This is the white shopper's problem because normally Alaskans and Malamutes, they're problem free toward this problem. They're really not the problem one. But no matter whose the problem is, here's what the solution looks like. You are going to put him in the crate, and please trust me on that. And don't just believe, somebody will tell you a different way, and you need to follow. Hundreds clients who hired me before, they hired so many people before, they realized there is no double opinion. This is the ultimate. Put the heck a dog in the crate before you open the door. Now, if your dog is barking, if somebody pushed the doorbell or knocked your door, you have to correct your dog. You can correct your dog one of two ways. You can toss on the floor a penny can, aluminum can from Pepsi Cola, next to the dog as you sharply make
You can use a Coke can, too. It doesn't have to be Pepsi.
Yeah. He wants to be politically correct, yeah. And you drop on the floor as you scream, boom! Or you can use another air spray device by name Pet Convincer. So once you stopped him from being barky, it's so important, from being bad, you momentarily need to put him in the crate. Have a leash on your dog for a while, maybe, if you know somebody comes in. I even would ask somebody. I would set this problem up. I would ask some of my neighbors or my mother-in-law, whatever, my girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever comes in, knock the door. I would have a leash on my dog. Before that, the dog barks, I will correct him. The next step is I will put him in the crate. I will lock him in the crate. I will never use plastic one in this situation. I will put him in the metal one, so he will be in the open space. But he's confined. After that, I will let the person come in. Now he feels more comfortable. He feels confined. He can't escape. He can't do anything. He's sitting in the crate. If he barks in the crate, you need to be the bad cop. You need to momentarily, sharply move for the crate, slightly snap the crate sidewise, no raising hand, as you make the same noise. He shuts up. You say, good boy, as nothing happened. And now you will ask the person, approach sidewise, no frontwise. Even ask the person, stranger who comes in, kneel down and let your dog sniff his butt. Yeah, it sounds funny, but that's how the dogs meet each other, side by side, and they sniffing each other butts. Sniffing each other butts, it's like for us humans going to on the Google or Yahoo to get some information. So no eye contact is important. And that's the person who will give him piece of hot dog, or you have to find something which would be really tasteful. I found the best things which works. Of course, our Stella Chews treats, which we are carrying in our store, works magic. But if nothing works, go to Whole Food next to you and get like Polish kielbasa, smoked one with garlic. For that treat.
No, wait a second. You don't like Polish men, but you like the Polish kielbasa.
I have no problems with the Polish ladies, hell. It's all about Polish men. Polish man always believes he knows everything. We Russian men, we know everything. We always have a conflict about this. Get the Polish kielbasa and make sure that comes just from the strangers, never from you. Strangers playing role as the good cop. You always playing role as your bad cop. And that's what I would do it 5-10 times. Eventually, he's not going to bark. He's going to be looking for that doorbell sound, like a ice cream truck sound for the kids.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team right now.
Goes with vodka really well, by the way. Kielbasa comes with vodka very well.
This is an Animal Radio News Update, brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. Animal Rescue New Orleans is stepping in to help those families out of work because of BP's disastrous oil spill in the Gulf. Arno is gathering donations of $25 to assist families affected, and they're keeping their pets. Arno is a no-kill shelter and says that for just that fee, $25, the pet retention program provides food, medical care, transportation, dog houses, and a carrier in case there is an actual evacuation. And since the oil spill, families affected have in some cases lost their pet, Arno is reporting that the area shelters are beyond full. And a massive undertaking, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is attempting to save thousands of sea turtle hatchlings from dying an oily death in the Gulf of Mexico. The government agency is planning on moving 70,000 turtle eggs buried in the sand across the Florida Panhandle and Alabama beaches in an effort to save the already threatened species from literally vanishing. Chuck Underwood of the agency said, quote, "This is an extraordinary effort under extraordinary conditions, but if we can save some of the hatchlings, it'll be worth it as opposed to losing all of them," end quote. And in pooch news, the American Kennel Club has added 3 new breeds to its list of recognized dogs. Do you know what they are, Hal?
No, I have no idea. I know the Rat Terrier is still not on there.
Yeah.
No, that's sad. But as of June 1st, 2010, the Icelandic Sheepdog is, along with the Leonberger and the Cane Corso. They'll be allowed to compete in AKC shows. The Icelandic Sheepdog will be joining as a member of the herding group. The Cane Corso and the Leonberger will be members of the working group. And founded back in 1884, the American Kennel Club maintains the largest registry of purebred dogs in the world, while it oversees the sport of purebred dogs here in the U.S. They are, by the way, a nonprofit. I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. Get more breaking animal news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter with a tip for traveling with your cat. Be sure your cat's identification is firmly attached. Make sure vaccinations are up to date and medications are packed. Don't forget to bring your cat's medical records, particularly if you're crossing state lines. Get more tips at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
So I'm talking to the crafty people in the sales department here at Animal Radio. Go ahead, laugh now. If you were here at Animal Radio, you'd understand why we're laughing there. They're very crafty. They try to take advantage of anything they can. And for the last 5 weeks, we've had recalls. Another recall this week with Feline's Pride raw food. All the details at the website. Another salmonella dealy. And so we're thinking,
every week there's something going on, isn't there?
So the sales department, they're thinking, why don't we make a segment out of it, the recall of the week? And I was like, who would sponsor it? And they were like, Epicac. Isn't that the stuff that makes you throw up if you ingest something poisonous?
Yeah, you're like great grandma, like gives you that bottle and asks you to drink it because they're worried that you ate something bad. Yeah.
Have you ever had that stuff?
Years and years ago when I was a kid, yeah. And the smell of it, well, still, it makes my gut kind of go, and it just does it to me. So I don't even have to touch the stuff.
Just looking at it, okay. Remember that. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team right now. And we've been giving Dr. Debbie a microphone to vent the last few weeks. And, well, no, I think you need it because it's hard to go home and vent because your husband's also a veterinarian. And so you have that kind of thing going where you don't want to dump each other's problems. So we're going to let you here at Animal Radio hear the problems, what goes on in the vet's office. And actually, your gripe today really struck home for me several times.
Well, probably for a lot of people as well, and it's maybe not something that's just in the veterinary world. And the basic idea is cell phones in the veterinary office. Need I say more here? But the scenario that I throw out is basically, I'm in an exam room, in a consultation, spending time talking about Fluffy and what's going on. And, going through the ailments, what might be going on with the pet, when all of a sudden the cell phone rings and Jayzee's song is on and, Dad picks up the phone, starts talking, gives me the give me a minute hand gesture, which I love.
I don't think so.
And then proceeds to take the phone call, leaving me standing there twiddling my thumbs. So I'm thinking, are you kidding me? And it's not that I think I'm all that important, but cell phones are a bad thing in the veterinary world.
Well, it's not just the veterinary. There's an etiquette that should be followed almost really anywhere, right? I mean, that's just...
Absolutely.
You've got patients lining up out the door that need to see you about their ailing animals. And
absolutely,
your time is very, very precious. Why should you be standing there while someone's yapping on the cell phone? So what do you ask them to turn it off when they come into the office? I know our vet here has a sign. It's a picture of a cell phone crossed out with a big red across it.
That's exactly what we do. And we had to do that because we had some problems, not only with, we have some equipment in our hospital that actually the cell phones kind of interfered with, and it's a little bit important when a pet's under anesthesia. You want that to work, right? But just the scheduling issues. So, it limits the amount of time. If you've got a 15-minute appointment with your veterinarian and you're on the phone 2 minutes of that, you are shortchanging your pet and you're shortchanging yourself from getting very important pet information. And not to mention those other pets and their pet owners that are sitting there waiting for that doctor to get freed up. It really kind of sets things behind. So, I'd rather keep on track and address those things that we need to in the office. And, there's some good things with cell phones, and I got to say. Okay. I do have some points where, I've seen a cell phone in the exam room, and it helps me to either connect with a pet owner that's not present, but, sometimes it's just a proud picture they like to show you. Mm-hmm. But actually things like video clips. I've had people show me a seizure episode. Oh. Or maybe a limping episode that we don't see in the hospital, but when they're at home, they do it regularly. So that's been quite good for the iPhone or any of those type of things. And, I even had someone recently who brought in multiple pictures of the dog's diarrhea and vomit for me to view.
Sure. So you can't really actually run a stool sample on that, but you could get a little bit of information from that, I would imagine.
Yeah, so it was helpful. But yeah, the bottom line is that it is an etiquette thing, and the doctors generally have things they have to do, surgeries, you've got the next appointment, and it's not that we don't think you're valuable, but we really don't want to hear about your nail appointment or the barbecue or where you're going for the evening out.
So what did you do in this case?
I've changed my strategy, and I used to get very upset and kind of hot, and I'd stand there and twiddle my thumbs back and get all perturbed. But now I found a calmer way to deal with it.
Oh, yeah?
I basically turn on my heels, give him that wave back, and I walk out of the room and go see that next client that is waiting for me and is ready for me to walk in there and see their baby.
We finally have the combination right. We have Dr. Debbie answering our vet medical questions, a dog father, Joey Villani, Bobby Hill working on news. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, she's getting our news. Anything to do with animals. She twitters if there's a recall, and there happens to be another recall this week. Really?
What kind of recall?
Food.
Oh, God. Again.
Cat food. And salmonella. When I was a kid, I thought salmonella was I thought there was a comedy duo. Salmonella.
I thought it was ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Spumoni, salmonella,
Yeah, hey.
Then I got it, and it was nothing like ice cream or a comedy duo. It's nasty, especially for the animals. And so we're going to be telling you about another recall happening this week. This is the 5th week in a row that there's been a recall.
Let me ask you a quick question. Is that contagious to people as well?
It absolutely is.
So if you touch it and then put your hand to your mouth, you get a good shot of getting it?
Yeah, just by handling it.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Bobby's working on that in the news. Also, what's going on in the Gulf with the animals? Well, apparently the area shelters are beyond full because of the oil spill.
Why is that?
I'm not exactly sure why. Bobby's working on a news story for that. All she gives me here is these little teases. Say this. She says, say this. I just read what she gives me. She also said,
good, though, because I
yes?
I want to know now why the shelters are full. I'm waiting for more. And,
it worked for you, so you're going to probably stick around.
I'm going to stick around.
Good. And I will, too, because I want to know, too. Also, the AKC, the American Kennel Club, they keep all lists of breeds, purebreds.
Yeah, the ones that they recognize as
purebreds.
Purebreds, I guess.
Very disappointed to find out that the Rat Terrier was never a purebred, never listed with them.
Someday.
But you'll find that there's a lot of weird other breeds. What were you going to say? You keep looking at me. You make these expressions and then you don't talk. Like I say something wrong, Joey. What's going on?
Well, because the Rat Terrier actually is recognized in UKC and, FCI, which is most of Europe. So it's a lot of these breeds that aren't recognized in the AKC have been recognized in Europe for over 100 years.
So you're agreeing with me?
I'm totally agreeing with you.
Write that down. Joey's agreeing with me here. It's happened so rarely that we agree. But so they have some weird ones. They've added like the Icelandic sheepdog. Who the hell has an Icelandic sheepdog? I haven't seen one of those.
I don't know what it looks like.
Or a Leon Burger or a Cane Corso. I don't know, but I have plenty of Rat Terrier. See what it's doing.
Calm down, Hal. Calm down.
Ed Asner is going to be on the show today, speaking of curmudgeon-y old men. He's actually...
He reminds me of a Leon Burger.
Oh, now I got to look it up.
I got to see what a Leon Burger looks like.
Yeah.
He does. When you look it up, you'll see Ed Asner.
He's fun. He's, This is his third time on the radio with us.
At least, if not more.
And I remember his first time he told us the story about how his cat fell in the chicken soup.
A big pot they were cooking on the stove.
They took the cat out, of course. Yeah,
was it hot?
It was hot and greasy.
Oh.
Cat was greasy for weeks afterwards. But of
They
course.
smelled it good.
Did you see him in Up? Which, by the way,
Well,
not a kid's movie.
You don't see him in it.
Yeah, of course. Well, you sort of do.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Carl.
Those animated characters that they voice, they actually look a little bit like the people that voice them, and I think the studios do that on purpose. He'll be joining us today in just a few minutes here on Animal Radio. Next week, is it Loretta Swit next week? And then the following week, Mark Marone joining us.
What a lineup, I tell
It's been a
you.
pretty wild lineup recently. You're telling them where they're going to be on Oprah. Is that what you do?
Found what works, and that works. Even though Oprah's not on the air anymore, they don't know that.
Animal Radio, packed with the stars. You know, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
We're no Rick and Bubba show, I'll tell you that right now.
This is
Animal Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, we at Litter Robot are pleased to announce our new spokescat, Cousin Vinny the Cat.
Thanks. It's good to be here with you guys talking about this here little robot that automatically cleans up after us cats do our business.
And what would you like to say to our audience about the Litter Robot?
My owner seems to be saving up lots of cash now that he's not buying so much cat litter. Plus, I don't have to put up with that stinking litter box smell no more. With Litter Robot, I get clean litter every time.
Right, Vinny. The Litter Robot saves on litter and eliminates odors.
And seriously, the chicks dig it.
Okay. Vinny, where can our audience buy a Litter Robot?
Well, you gotta go online to the Litter Robot website and order one. Them Litter Robot guys don't even charge you for shipping.
That's great. People can just order a Litter Robot online at www.litter-robot.com. Animal Radio listeners can now save $20. Just enter Animal Radio as the coupon code when checking out. Thank you, Vinny. We look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Yeah, anytime, pal.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about Canine Caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and, most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine Caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for Canine Caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
When Animal Radio picked America's top vet, they wanted to make sure that your animal's health came first. That's why they picked the Paso Robles Veterinary Medical Clinic. Treating animals for over 50 years with the latest diagnostic tools in their full-service hospital, the Paso Robles Veterinary Medical Clinic always puts your pets first. Call 805-238-4622 or visit them at PasoVets.com. That's Paso, P-A-S-O, Vets.com to get the best care for your pet.
Did you know the Dodge Journey has won the 2010 Pet Safe Choice Award? With fold-down stain-resistant seats, a chill zone glove box cooler for drinks, and multiple storage options with removable, washable liners, it's easy to see why Dodge Journey is the best car for every member of the family, even those with tails.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
If you'd like to get in touch with any one of the Dream Team, it's toll-free. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani with your grooming questions and your tip later on. Animal communicator Joy Turner bridging that gap, as well as Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, fixing all your dog behavior problems. Judy Francis screening calls right now. Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, finally asleep.
She wouldn't settle down today. I don't know what was
about
with her. Yeah.
Yeah. It is time right now for the premiere of the Dodge Journey Pet Destination segment here on Animal Radio. And we've asked you to call us at 1-866-405-8405 anytime you like to tell us what is your favorite place to take your dog, your cat, your animals. We're not speciesist here.
Right.
I mean, a lot of us travel with our cats, too. Where's a good place to take your pet that you like to go and that they like to go? And you, young lady, are our very first caller. What is your name?
My name is Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing today? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Shell Beach, California. Best place in the universe.
It is a very beautiful.
very
That's near
nice.
Pismo, isn't it?
Coastal.
Yes, it is.
I love that. Now, do you live there?
I do.
Ooh, I am so
I'm one of
jealous.
the lucky few.
Wow.
And so you have dogs, too, I imagine. Dogs or cats?
I do. I have dogs.
They must love that there at the beach.
They do. And, you know, if I tell you my favorite place, then it won't be a secret anymore.
No, that's why I won't tell anyone my favorite place, because then everyone
Come on,
will go there.
guys, let's spill it.
Well, my favorite place is actually the Avila Beach area.
Avila Beach, which is just down the road from you
Just
there.
down the road, and it's very secluded. Not a lot of people go. They got a beautiful pier for people, too, but they've got a really nice area that's kind of just the wind is just blocked off because of the cliffs, and you can take your dog down there, and it kind of, they can't get away from you because it's kind of like a fence, you know, but it's made out of rocks.
I love it.
So it's perfect. It's just perfect, and the dogs just run, and everybody brings their dog down there, and it's a very friendly place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Really a great place.
Avila Beach, is that right, Danielle? Avila Beach?
It is. Yes,
Avila
part of
Beach, the #1 Dodge Journey pet destination. If you want to call us with your pet destination, give us a call at 1-866-405-8405, and we'll put all the Dodge Journey pet destinations up at the website. Danielle, thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
We were gentle, weren't we?
Yes, you were very gentle.
Here's a fact. 17,000 years ago, the first dog was domesticated from a pack of wolves. Here's another fact. The Dodge Journey is a domesticated crossover, a direct descendant of our muscle cars. The Journey recently won the 2010 Pet Safe Choice Award, an honor decided by humans and dogs. Was it the stain-resistant seating, the in-floor storage bins with removable and washable liners, or is it that dogs relate to this vehicle?
Is your dog having trouble walking? Do his rear legs simply give out? Sadly, many people believe that when a dog cannot walk, the only option is to put the dog to sleep. There is an alternative. Discover the pet mobility miracle of Walkin' Wheels dog wheelchair that has helped thousands of handicapped pets to continue living happy, active lives. Walkin' Wheels requires only one measurement of your dog's height. It can be ordered online and shipped the same day. Visit handicappedpets.com or call 888-811-PETS to learn more about Walkin' Wheels.
This portion of Animal Radio brought to you by
Herb Springer's Quick Release Dog Training Collar. Very humane, very gentle. Find a store near you at animalradio.com.
Hi, this is Richard Karn from Home Improvement, and you're listening to Animal Radio. Now remember to spray and neuter your dogs. It's a good idea to spray and neuter your animals.
What are you saying, Hal?
Bobby thinks we should do the whole show in Chihuahua speak.
I think it would be amusing. But then lots of odd things amuse me, so go ahead.
Last year we did a segment on animals that spoke.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the animals, actually, they sounded like they were saying the things that we thought they might be saying. And pretty easy for you and me to understand, like the one that said, I love you. I love you. Was there one that said I love you?
Uh-huh.
Do we have that, Guido?
Okay, now here's what I hear. Shrieking monkeys.
Oh, you don't hear that, Bobby?
You don't hear I love you in that? I actually do.
No.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys do. Go ahead.
Joy Turner introduced me to this gentleman that we're going to talk to you right now, Brian Jones. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Good. Hello.
Good. You're able to hear words through the sounds of animals that they make in their normal voices.
Well, it's contained within the complex frequencies of their, audio vocal output. I kind of go in and dissect it with computer programs and things, but I have gotten validation on specific bits of information, like names of people that live in the house where the animal is.
And so they're talking English, though, right? Is what you're...
It appears to be, yeah. And I've been recently kind of dealing with a friend of mine, Dr. Stephen Rourke, and David Roundtree, if you've heard his name.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty smart fellow. He's the director and chief science advisor of a organization they put together called, acronym SPIRIT. It's Scientific Paranormal Investigative Research, Information, and Technology.
Oh, wow. I'm glad it has an acronym, that's for sure.
No
yeah,
kidding.
well, that's, it's kind of crafty, but he's a real serious-minded guy, and he just did kind of a blind test with some of my samples, and none of his team could hear him. And so I've been racking my brain about the the whole issue of the mind wanting to make order out of chaos, and I don't think that answers all the questions. And David Roundtree's actually open to taking it to the next step, because I think I tune into things that other people can't hear. I mean, I know I do, and and I don't think it's all summed up in the pareidolia or the apophenia matrixing realm, explanation.
Well, hey, listen, I want to play. You tape some of these things here, and I want to play them for the audience so that they can hear what you're hearing. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. This is Brian Jones. He's taped a conversation. Well, I'll let him explain here.
Now check this out. Let's go to a couple cats. This one's really brief. I'll just play it real quick. Some people, I can't believe it, say they can't hear this. Other people can. I have a really hard time getting a consensus, if you know what I'm talking about there. But anyway, this is a 15-year-old black and white chubby boy, black and white cat. He's a really neat old cat. But here's the 3 times. See if you can make a phrase out of this. Here goes. Okay, what I'm hearing out of Eddie is, I'm mad. Here it is again.
I don't know. I guess I heard it after you told me what it was.
I know
I
the
was
words.
getting the I'm part, though. He
Were
was
you?
definitely saying I'm. Yes.
Well, let me tell you, what you're saying is definitely the whole theme, is that there's a lot of skeptics would say, man, and just like David Roundtree, once they hear my suggestion, and when I sent him the presentation, I did it such as that right there. That's actually something I made for a neighbor, who, by the way, right after this little interview we're doing here, I'm going to go down and record her parrots and videotape them. But, a lot of people would say, well, yeah, it's only because you tell me what to hear. But the thing is, I can't prove anything with that, because I knew the circumstances that Eddie had just moved, hated the new neighborhood. It was obvious by his lack of appetite and his whole change of personality. And so, like I said, I'm pretty skeptical myself. But she went to the website with the ducks talking. Her initial.
Wait, let's hear that. I want to hear the ducks here. Let's play the ducks for the listeners here, because we're running really short on time here. Here's Brian with the ducks.
Okay, and then now here's a phrase I pulled out of it right now. Okay, the phrase I'm hearing is, I like the human. Here it is again.
I didn't even hear it the second time. I didn't even hear it the
one's a
second
tough
time. That's a tough one, but maybe it's just I don't articulate with the ducks.
You need to watch more Donald Duck.
Maybe.
Yeah, we have cats in
There's no way to verify them. And if they were really saying I like the human, all I can say is a little bread goes a long way with ducks.
It really, really does. Brian, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there a website where people can learn more?
There will be soon, but I want to finish up by saying I would like audiomedium.com is one of them, or Inventor 2012 at Yahoo. If anybody out there wants to step up and help me test this, I'm all over it.
Okay, if you're an interested listener and want to help Brian with his research, give us a call or check our website. We'll put links to the links he just mentioned up at animalradio.com. Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, thank you.
We have more Animal Radio on the way.
Oh my God.
You're working on your tip of the day. I see you're actually writing it down over there. You're the only one that writes your
Yes,
segment.
I am.
Yeah, what are you working on today?
Listen, I got so much stuff that I have to write it down because I got too much going through my head here sometimes. But today, it's all about feet. And I'm not talking about fetishes, people. I'm talking about dogs' feet here, okay? And how to take care of them and to really, really make your pet feel good.
I take my pet for a walk, and I do it on this hot tar out here. And every once in a while, I kind of have to remind myself that I have shoes on.
Yeah. I feel it. I get down and feel it with my hand and see how hot it is. If it's too hot for my hand, it's too hot for my hand.
Do they feel like we do? Don't they have more calluses? I mean, they're always I figured if I didn't walk with shoes all the time, I would have calluses on the bottom of my feet.
You know what? I wonder the same thing, but just the other day I had a problem with it. I'll get into it at another time. But so I put my foot on the ground to see how hot it was because the woman was walking the dog on the pavement. And it hurt. It hurt. So I can only imagine, after walking on it for a little while, it has to bother them.
Yeah.
And, of course, they'll be the last to squeal or bark if it upsets them. Even when they're in pain, it's hard to find out that a pet's in pain because sometimes they don't show it. So check the ground that they walk on before they walk on it during the hot summer. And wait for your foot tips coming up with Joey Villani on Animal Radio. Foot tips on Animal Radio. And Asner's on the way.
This is
Animal Radio. Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And the whole dream team. 1-866-405-8405. That's the number Judy's screening right now. You want to talk to Dr. Debbie, dog father Joey Villani, animal communicator Joy Turner, or Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. We're all here to help you at your beck and call as we celebrate our connection with our pets today with Ed Asner. Very excited about that. Dr. Debbie's, she's got all her, what do they call that? Her baggies in a bunch. Her, what's the term?
I'm trying to think. What are you talking about?
She's a little, she's upset today because one of her patients had a cell phone. What did you do? No, one of her patients had a cell phone.
Her patients or her patient's owner?
The patient's owner. I guess the patients wouldn't be on a cell phone. One of her patient's guardians.
She has her panties in a bunch.
Panties in a thank you, Judy.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's about 1 million people looking at their radio going, panties in a bunch, panties in a bunch. And there's another recall this week. We want to create a new segment called Recall of the Week. Why not? For the last 5 weeks, there's been a recall of foods.
Wouldn't it be easier just to list the foods that aren't recalled? The list would probably be shorter.
It's getting that point. We do always Twitter when we get information on a recall. So if you're following us on Twitter, you will also get updates there on the latest food recall. And yeah, there's another one. This one's with raw kitty cat food. So we'll have info for you coming up.
It is a smaller label, which is good.
It is.
Every week there's a new one. So it's almost as bad as the cars.
Animal communicator Joy Turner is here also today, and Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Oh, by the way, thanks for that picture that you sent me there, Joey, of your bird. I guess you give your bird a bath just like you give your dogs. I didn't know that that's the way you wash birds.
I'll take, yeah. Well, you know what? It's funny because I've had this bird for 26 out of 32 years. And I came down with asthma from the bird because umbrella cockatoos have a very powdery skin. And the doctor said, you have to get rid of the bird. And I told the doctor, I'll get rid of him first before I get rid of the bird. The bird's been with me too long. So basically what I have to do is I actually literally have to give the bird a bath, I mean weekly, to get the to keep the dander down. And, she likes it. I'll fill a sink up with water and actually submerge her right up to her neck, and just the head sticks out. And she'll let me do it. She has to be on me. I mean, she won't just sit there herself. Take her out, towel dry her, and just keep her warm, and she stays nice and clean and healthy, and been doing that for a long time.
What kind of shampoo do you use?
Yeah, no shampoo, just water. I mean, they do make bird baths. When I was back in New Jersey, we had this great place called Custom Parrot, and I used to love it. And it was people's home. It was a person's home, and they had birds throughout the whole house, but it was a store as well. So you would go in the house, go in their bedroom, there'd be birds. I mean, literally everywhere. But the place was immaculately clean. And they're the ones that told me, you know what, just do that and you'll be fine. And it definitely, I'm not going to say I'm fine, but it definitely has helped.
Wow. Now, what are you going to do? Will she outlive you?
Oh, absolutely. Who knows how much longer I have. We had some hard years, but no, she should. I mean, she's probably going to live well into her 70s, and she's younger than me, so most likely, yes.
Oh, wow. So what do you do with her? You have her in your will?
You know what? I don't have a will yet. No, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. Now you're making me think. I don't know. Some poor soul is going to get this umbrella cockatoo that's going to chew all the wood in their house and scream, and but she's great.
Anything to report in the Gulf?
Nothing good.
The latest word is British petroleum cleanup crews are secretly incinerating the remains of wildlife so that they won't
so we don't
caught.
Have to count.
BP's not handling this well.
Well, no, and I have an idea. They've tried containment domes, rubber tires, golf balls.
Yeah, let me just put a bunch of junk in it. That'll stop it. Home plumbing.
I think now it's time to shove some BP executives down there and hope for the best.
Yeah. Who's that idiot, the first one that went on his yacht and said he wanted to get his life back? Yeah, my heart's bleeding
first.
for you.
He's in first.
He's head first.
Head first. Put them all in.
First.
I think it could be a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
Best case scenario, they plug the leak. Very least, they'll shut them up. Dr. Debbie's here answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani, Bobby Hill, animal communicator Joy Turner, Vladi the world famous Russian dog wizard. 1-866-405-8405 right now. Oh, did I say Ed Asner's on the show today?
Yaha!
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And don't forget, the entire dream team is here. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani, Vladi the world famous Russian dog wizard. Bobby working on news, and animal communicator Joy Turner practicing her skills. She goes into the room just before the show, and it's a dark room, and she does nothing for a few minutes. I think we're too noisy for her. I think sometimes she wonders.
I do that too, but I call it writing. You guys seem to have bought it for the last couple of years.
It seems like you keep yourself pretty busy over there with the social networking, the Facebooking, the Twittering, and all the, and then the news gathering.
Social networking is important. I do actually get quite a few news leads off of the social networks. Of course, it all depends upon who you follow, Hal.
Now, do you verify all your news leads?
Yeah.
Because anyone can post on that U-book thingy.
Yeah. Yes, this is true. And that's a point well taken, because I've seen an awful lot of the mainstream news media organizations just literally opening up their little laptops and showing you their Facebooks and quoting these people as if they were gospel. And you shouldn't do that.
One of the leads that you did check is a recall, another recall. We should have like a recall of the week segment here on the
Oh, no,
radio.
that's not good, Hal. Well, I know what you mean, though, yeah.
It seems like
because
the last 5 weeks.
Lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And is this one?
It's been a little consistent.
This is a cat food you're going to be telling us about?
This is a raw cat food that the Food and Drug Administration has announced a recall on. If it's Feline's Pride raw food.
Okay.
If you feed that to your kitties, you want to be listening to the news.
Okay, all the details coming up in just a few minutes. You know who's on the show today? Ed Asner, our friend Ed Asner.
Carl.
Oh yes, from Up.
He's the best.
That was a good movie. The Mary Tyler Moore Show, of course. I saw that. And then he did that newsroom thing. What was that show with Ted Knight?
Lou Grant?
Yeah, Lou Grant. Mm-hmm. He's a curmudgeon old guy, but he's real fun.
But he's a very good curmudgeon old guy.
And this will be his third time on Animal Radio, so we're excited about that. He's no Justin Bieber, but he is Ed Asner. 1-866-405-8405. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you doing today?
Good. Where are you?
I am in Orlando, Florida.
Ooh, love it there.
Yeah.
Say hi to Mickey for me.
I will.
So what's going on with your animal?
Well, whenever we take, he's 2 years old. He's a Morkie, and he's 2 years old. And whenever we take him in the car, he carries on uncontrollably. So we took him to the vet, and the vet gave us doggy Xanax, which we did give him, but it absolutely has no effect on him. So he pants, and he cries, and he just does not like the car. So I was wondering if it's motion sickness or if there's something we can do to get him over that.
Okay. Now, you say it was doggy Xanax. Is it actually Xanax, or is it another tranquilizer?
No, it's actually Xanax. It's actually Xanax. It's 0.25 milligrams.
Okay. So when he is in the car, does he ever get sick to his stomach, or is it mostly just all the anxious behaviors?
It's all the anxious behavior. He doesn't ever get sick. He just the anxious behavior. He whimpers and he pants and he moves about. You know, he won't stay still. And we put his bed in there. I mean, I bought treats in there and toys. We've taken him for short drives and long drives, and it doesn't seem to matter.
Okay. And do you generally travel a lot with him, or is this just an isolated episode here and there that you travel?
Well, we travel a lot with him, just locally, and we do take him from time to time up to Orlando. It's about a 3-hour drive from where we live because our children live up here, and it's just always it's a very unpleasant experience because he's just so upset all the time. Once we get him out of the car, he's fine. So I just was wondering, I mean, I was under the impression that most dogs love the car, but I guess that's not true.
Oh, no, not at all. And, there's a lot of unknowns. And that's when we look in the eyes of the dog and what they're seeing. You're getting into this moving vehicle, 65 miles per hour, zooming down the road. All these things are going by. You see new things, sounds. It can be very scary. So there's nothing to like about that. So if there's scary things along the way, no matter how good it might be when they get there or how much you're trying to make this experience positive, for some pets, that whole experience is just a nightmare for them. So the first thing that I would always go back to is, rather than say, what pill can I give to my dog, I go back to the training. Because for me, I would much rather see a dog have the proper conditioning to car travel than to try to say, let's sedate the heck out of him so he just sleeps through this trip, because we're not really fixing anything. So the goal would be is to desensitize him to travel and to make it a good experience. And if he's already that anxious and you've tried short trips and long trips, the big thing I would like him to learn is that the car is a good place. And that we have to start from the beginning. We basically start off with just getting him near the car and gauging his behavior. If once you walk up to the car door, he freaks out, that's where you got to stop, back up a little bit, and you only want to have short exposures towards the car vehicle. So we want to maybe, when we work up to it, get him to sit into the car, sit down on the car seat, and reward him for calm behavior, not for jumping around like a wild man, but have him sit, stay, give paw, do some activity, and reward him for that. We want to do that and practice that. Practice the positive experience. You can even feed him in the car. That's not moving, of course, and have that become a positive place for him. And then we work up to longer and longer exposures to the car, and maybe, you'll turn the engine on and then just turn it right back off. As long as he's having a positive experience, you reward the heck out of him. If he has a nervous behavior, you stop and take a step back in the training. And the goal is eventually to back out of the driveway, practice that, stop, keep going back into the house. We want to keep this positive and gradually work up to shorter bouts of travel. So it's all about the mindset and making this the best place that you can have for him. Now, if he's getting in the car and you're working towards that, some tips I'd say, number one is this boy needs to be confined in the car, because if he's jumping around from seat to seat, that's just too much going on. So really to use a doggy seat belt or a kennel, which is secured, that would be the best. And then some of the other little things for car travel, I do like some of the natural remedies. I'll try things like a drop of lavender oil on his bedding area, maybe in the car, as well as doggy pheromones, which are the natural scent hormones we talk about on the show pretty regularly. And that can be available in a collar that you can have him wear, and it's with him and releasing this kind of calming hormone. So those might be some of the things that I'd work on. If we had to pull out other medicines, there's other anti-anxiety medicines we can use along with the Xanax, but I'd really encourage you to get this little guy, really thinking differently about what that vehicle is all about.
Right. So it's definitely something that I can undo, because at this point he's just so anxious already, but the behavior can be undone and relearned.
It can, yeah. And it basically, the core of it is we want to keep it positive. If you see anxiety, we're going too far, and you want to have positive reinforcement for all those good experiences. It takes a lot to undo that negative one. It may take 100 times to 1, but that's the pattern you have to set. Is just repeat.
Okay, well, that's
and try to avoid. Okay, and try to avoid big trips or scary trips while you're doing this process, because it'll set you back. So keep that in mind.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I will do exactly what you told me to.
Thank you for your call today, Debbie. Good luck with Coco.
All right, thank you.
1-866-405-8405 to talk to any one of the Dream Team right now.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Animal Radio is brought to you by
One Shot Plus Multi-Purpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, pet stains, crayon marks, mildew. One shot and it's gone. Call 1-866-734-1120 or go to oneshotplus.com to get yours now.
As you all know, many emails. I would like to address two most common for the last few weeks, which I received. People asking me, Vlad, what the heck dog training color you are always recommending? And my answer would be Herm Springer, it's a German, Herm Springer dog training colors. Very humane, very gentle, create a gentle grip through the neck, imitate the doggy mama bite, will not hurt, will not harm your pets. And this is would be starting point of dealing with unruly pets. I highly suggest you get for your little terrorist
He does have a very bad attitude.
We can keep complaining or we can take the actions. This is the only color I solely approve. They're very humane.
What is the name of it?
Strong color with quick release by company Herm Springer.
And that's spelled HERMSPRENGER. And, of course, we have links at the Animal Radio website.
Got it.
Sometimes people are crazy. Dogs are okay. That's for sure.
Fido-Friendly is the travel and lifestyle magazine for you and your dog. Each bi-monthly issue includes hotel and destination reviews, health and wellness topics, dog training advice, and the latest fashion trends. You can find Fido-Friendly magazine at Borders, Barnes & Noble, PetSmart, and Petco, or simply go online to FidoFriendly.com and subscribe today. Fido-Friendly is the only magazine dedicated to the travel and lifestyle of man's best friend, and the only magazine your dog will thank you for.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about Canine Caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine Caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for Canine Caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And don't forget the whole dream team. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani. Bobby working on news. She's also our social networking butterfly. Animal communicator Joy Turner. And Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, all at your beck and call. Toll free, 1-866-405-8405. In just a few minutes, Ed Asner will be joining us. I'm going to take a little break here, ladies. You can screen some more calls. I got to feed Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, her Stella and Chewies.
It's that time again.
Watch your fingers. Stand back. Don't get between her and that food.
It can be very, very tricky, of course, because she loves the food. And the thing that we love about it is not only does she love it, but it's healthy for her. It just sounds like a kid's cereal commercial, but let's face it, that's the way it is.
Shh, don't let her know it's healthy, though, because then she won't eat it anymore if she doesn't think it's cheeseburger.
It's certainly not cheeseburger. Natural goodness for dogs, made with raw USDA inspected meat. It's raised naturally. There's no added hormones or antibiotics, and it comes in these little freeze-dried patties. And so there's no cans or anything. It's real light, easy, no smell or anything. Pull one out, put a little water. Yeah, I break it up. It depends on what kind of texture your dog likes. Sometimes they like chunks. Sometimes they like it mushy. Ladybug likes it mushy.
No, she's real little, so she doesn't like big chunks.
Sometimes I'll make it chunky, and sometimes I'll make it mushy. When I'm feeling wild, I'll make it chunky for her.
Look at you go.
You could see the cranberries in it. You could see the chicken. You can see it all come to life when we put water in it. Check it out, Stella and Chewies. And you can get a free sample from our website at animalradio.com. I want to welcome back our friend Ed Asner. Hey, Ed, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Are you in the bathroom?
No. Do you want me to be?
No. It sounds like a little bit of an echo there.
Well, I have that built into my chest.
Well, yeah, I guess that's...
He's got his own reverb. That's awesome.
I just saw Up just a few days ago. And
finally.
I didn't even know before I went in that you were voicing Carl.
What are we going to do with him?
I don't know. He's behind the times, Ed.
And I only do up to these shows.
He was already nominated for an Academy Award for it. How?
You always have these grumpy roles, and then I just saw this movie called Gigantic, which is also something that was, 2008? I'm a little behind the times.
Yeah.
And
well, you're lucky because it's a rare object to have seen that.
No one saw Gigantic?
No.
Oh,
we loved it with John Goodman and Zoe.
Yeah,
they were
just great actors doing that.
Okay, now I'm going to rent it because I want to see it.
Yeah. Well, you're working on a new sitcom, aren't you? With Tom Arnold?
Tom Arnold. Talk about animals.
Yeah. You worked with him before, though.
No, I haven't. No.
Really?
I've met him. I've been around him. I like him. but I haven't worked with it.
It seemed like the last time that we talked, you said you were working on this, and that was a few years back.
It must have been something else, Hal.
It was around...
Well, I'm talking about paid work.
Ah.
See, there's a difference, Hal.
Well, now, do we have any animals at home?
We got two beauties.
Dogs, cats?
Hello, Shirley.
You're not talking about your wife, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm separated right now.
Are you really?
I'm sorry to hear that.
I didn't know that.
Nice going, Hal. Thanks for bringing that up.
Really brought everyone down now. But you have a cat or a dog?
Well, I have
two cats.
3 cats. Two cats.
Yeah.
You know, every time I think of you, I always think about them getting into a pot of chicken soup. Do you still have?
My God, you go back.
Yeah. Do you still have the same cats?
No, long.
There wouldn't be a lot, would they?
Do you have the same chicken soup?
We never touched it. It's still sitting on the stove.
So you've always had cats here. You don't like dogs, do you?
Oh, I do. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know. You seem like a cat guy.
You spread these rumors about this.
I've never seen Ed with a dog.
Well, I don't flaunt it. I'm very circumspect about being seen in public with a dog.
What does it mean if you're seen in public with a dog?
Well, people say, "Look at that dog he's with."
And they would be talking about you, I think.
What?
Oh, Judy!
What?
No, you were in furry.
But my peripatetic life, it's much easier to live with cats, and I can leave them with friends, and they don't commit Harry Caray at my absence. Although they're
a little more user friendly than dogs.
Yeah, they are. A dog just needs more attention.
The cats are low maintenance.
Yeah.
You don't really have to. They sleep all day, and dogs they always want to be with you. They always want to take you out.
Well, my cat Jayzee does need to be with me. He sleeps on top of my head.
Oh, jeez.
Why the name Jayzee?
Well, when I got him, he was suffering from herpes in the lungs.
Ooh.
Whoa. And I got him cured, but until I got him cured, he was doing a lot of wheezing.
So he sleeps on your head there. He keeps your head warm, I would imagine, which is good.
Better than wearing a cap, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't breathe.
And what about Shirley?
Well, sure. No, I was jesting. My other cat is Archie.
Archie?
Yeah.
As in Archibald?
It could be. It's up to you. If you don't like Archie, you can try Archibald.
He
doesn't come to either name. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, cats never come when they're called anyway.
Well, Jayzee does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Where does Archie sleep?
Well, if he comes home, he sleeps on a chair or on a couch. He's Mr. Outside.
He's a cat about town. He's a player.
Yeah, my assistant refers to him as, leaning up against the building in the shade, smoking a reefer, hat tipped down over his eye. What's cooking, baby?
I think I met him.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have fun with your animals there.
I do.
What do you think about this? I know you're always politically involved. Every time we've called, you've always had something to bitch about. What do you think about what's going on in the Gulf with the oil spill and all that?
Do I need to bitch?
No, I think we probably share the same sentiments.
But go ahead.
The same sediments?
Sediments, I guess, with the oil.
Oil sediment.
I think it's. You know how many oil derricks are out there in the Gulf?
I have no clue.
How about 3,500?
No.
Whoa, over 1,000?
No, seriously?
Yeah.
So this could happen potentially to any one of them.
It can happen off the coast of California. It could happen off the coast of Florida, I suppose. And it certainly could happen quite a bit in the Gulf of Mexico.
Is this the beginning of the end? You know, they say 2012 is the end. Is this oil spill? We haven't capped it yet. I mean, is this it? Should I start racking up my credit card?
Oh, yeah. You can take mine.
Okay.
There's no tomorrow.
Very good. Okay. So check it out. It's on CMT. Is there a name for it? I didn't even see a name for it.
There was no name yet.
Well, it was kind of temporarily named Regular Joe.
Regular Joe.
Uh-huh.
Wait a second. There was something on ABC called Regular Joe.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh, is this the same program?
Couldn't be.
You weren't in the first one, were you?
No.
Okay, so it's
So
not
this
the same.
is the first time it's ever happened. CMT, that's like a country channel, isn't it?
Yeah, country music.
Country music.
Television.
I'll be looking for it.
So this one will be better.
Oh, it is. It is. I felt very good when we made the pilot.
I remember you told us first about Center of the Universe and its demise.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were pretty bummed when that happened.
Yeah. Well, John has gone on to greater things. Have you seen pictures of John?
Recently?
Yeah.
No. Is he?
He's half of what he was.
Has he lost all that weight?
Oh my God, he looks like Mr. Slick.
Wow. I got to see this.
Whatever you did for John, you got to do for Tom, right?
I plan to.
Well, we appreciate your time today.
Well, I like being with you. You're jaunty and jolly.
We have fun with you.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're concerned about oil. I think that's important for the American citizens to be concerned.
Yeah, we're also worried about all those animals down
Yeah, that's really our primary concern. We really couldn't care much
we're
about
not
the
all
oil.
that broken up about BP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not BP. Before petroleum.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're going, I hope.
Yeah.
Do you have solar things going on at your house? Do you?
I lease my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I separated.
Hmm.
But I drive a Prius, and I'm proud of it.
Oh,
So
that's
you're,
good.
You're
There
a
you
green
go.
guy, huh?
I hope so.
Are you a vegetarian too? Someone told me that.
I would want to be. I would be a lot slimmer if I were.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If steaks weren't so good, I'd be a vegetarian.
I do enjoy a good steak every once in a while, so it's
I
tough.
know, but well, and I find I don't eat that much steak. I eat prepared foods and eat out a lot, and the salt and the MSG and the other crap
yes.
they put in.
The MSG is the worst.
I know. Can't lose weight with that crap.
No, it'll preserve your body. You'll last a long time with that preservative there.
Oh, you don't need to build a pyramid.
You haven't changed how you look over, as long as I've known you,
Careful,
you
Hal.
look the same.
Really?
Well, you've gotten a few more gray hairs, but you look pretty much the same. You've kept your youth. What's the secret? Is it the preservatives?
That must be. It must be. More sex good, I guess. MSG.
I liked it. It was funny.
That's good. Thanks, darling.
Ed, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Before you go, can you do a little sweeper for us that we'd run in between segments that says, "Hi, I'm Ed Asner on Animal Radio," and either spay or neuter your animals or whatever little message you'd like to give?
Hi, I'm Ed Asner. You're on Animal Radio. Spay or neuter your animals, you dummies.
That's the best one ever.
Ed, you're awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Take care. Have a great week.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you. Love being with you.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. An Australian man was recently caught hiding 3 geckos in his socks. Police found the little lizards hidden in the man's socks during a routine search of his car and alerted wildlife authorities. It's believed the man caught the geckos, which are a protected species in the wild, with hopes of selling the popular little lizards on the black market. The alleged smuggler had hidden a marble velvet gecko, an eastern spiny-tailed gecko, and a 3-spot knob-tailed gecko. A wildlife officer explained that taking an animal out of the wild affects both the local populations from which they're taken, but also can spread disease to other reptile communities. Unlawfully taking wildlife can cost you fines up to $24,000. Maybe this guy was just trying to save on his car insurance. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Hi, this is Park Overall. I'm just thrilled about Animal Radio. Please, spay and neuter your animals. Please.
This is an Animal Radio news update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. The Food and Drug Administration announced the recall of Feline's Pride raw food on July 1st. The food for both cats and kittens may be contaminated with salmonella, according to the FDA. The product containing ground bone is the natural kitten formula, the 2.5-pound size. It was produced on June 10th of 2010. Feline's Pride is made on an as-ordered basis, and it's shipped to consumers in uncoated plastic containers. The recall affects only orders that were placed and shipped June 10th through June 17th, 2010. So far, the FDA reports it has received no reports of illness due to the salmonella contamination, but cautions pet owners to thoroughly wash all surfaces and their hands after handling any raw food. In other FDA and pet food recall news, the makers of beef fillet squares at dog treats received a warning letter from the FDA about their January recall. Merrick Pet Care is owned by Tejas Industries, who got the letter of compliance from the FDA over a week ago, asking for clarification on several points related to the company's recall. In the letter, the FDA stated, quote, "Your firm could not provide evidence that your manufacturing processes eliminate pathogens such as salmonella during processing because your firm does not consistently monitor critical factors," end quote. Merrick has 15 business days to respond in writing to that warning letter. 60 shelter dogs from California are now enjoying the Great White North. That's thanks to philanthropist Jan Folk. She transported the pooches aboard her private 11-seat Gulfstream 3 up to Edmonton, Alberta, for adoption by our neighbors to the north. Canada, you know, America's hat. Folk took 30 terriers, Yorkies, Chihuahuas, as Les Nessman used to call them, and Bichons from the Southeast Area Animal Control Authority of Downey. They then made a stop in Fresno, picked up 30 more dogs from the Central California SPCA. Most of the dogs, by the way, that were rescued from Downey Shelter were literally on death row. I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. Get more breaking animal news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio news update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter. Here's a tip for choosing a litter. Try a litter that resembles what cats naturally use. Soft, fine-grained litters most closely resemble the sand and dirt preferred by cats in the wild. Secondly, remember that cats have a keen sense of smell, so choose a litter that doesn't include perfumes. Get more tips from Dr. McPete at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Natural Balance Pet Food, the finest food you can buy for the health of your pet. No matter which line of Natural Balance Pet Food you choose, you know it will truly be the food for a lifetime. Visit www.naturalbalance.net to learn more.
Six 405-8405 to connect with any one of the Animal Radio Dream Team. Dr. Debbie's answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani or Bobby Hill working on news right now. By the way, more recalls in the news. Feline food, yeah. That's coming up in just a few minutes, as well as animal communicator Joy Turner. And right now, Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Is that another Daryl? Is it the same Daryl?
No, so this is a new Daryl.
Daryl, and Daryl. A lot of Daryls today. Hey, Daryl, how are you?
Oh, not bad. You?
Very good. Where are you today?
New Mexico, just east of Albuquerque.
Okay, how can we help you? I got Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard here.
Hi, Daryl. And today, to help me out, my German Shepherd dog Mika is with me. And so I'm going to ask her question before I give you an answer, if you don't mind. She's always helping me out.
Okay.
So go ahead. What's the problem you have? Mika, are you ready? Okay, see, she's there. I want to make sure. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I've got a black lab, and normally he's a pretty good dog, but lately,
before you do anything, before you say anything, just for you and for to let everyone who is listening to me right now, I'm not racist or breedist or colorist, but for some reason, folks, listen me up. For some reason, the color of the lab is affecting their personalities. If somebody calling me, or I go to the guy or lady who has a chocolate lab, I know probably it's gonna be or dumb dog, or that dog gonna have some health issues or allergies, something like that. If somebody call me and tell me, well, I have some Labrador Retriever who bit someone, I know it's going to be most likely yellow lab. But if somebody calling me and telling me I have a hyperactive dog who has sometimes doggy ADD, sometimes he may be, steal curtains or, and maybe swallowed landscaping stones, I know it's going to be black lab. So go ahead.
Okay, but basically what's going on is, I have to lock him up during the day, and if we just turn our backs on him for a little, he gets into our trash. And it doesn't have to be trash. It could be anything that we might have sitting around the house that's in a bag. He'll get in it, he'll tear it apart, and it's just all over the place. I don't know what to do about it. I've tried everything.
What did you try, by the way?
I say but my wife does more than I do because I'm an over-the-road truck driver. Pretty much.
I guess
we crate him. We crate him when we only use the crate for when he's done bad things. That's the only time we use the crate. And any other time we keep him in our bedroom when she's not at home during the day.
Okay.
And
how many hours you're not home? You or your wife?
She's probably gone. She's probably gone 7 to 8 hours a day.
Okay.
She comes home. She comes home once on her lunch break to take the dogs out, let them do their business, and then we've got another dog. We let her run the house because she doesn't get into anything. She's pretty much a sweetheart.
And that lab is a sweetheart too. How old is he?
He's just over 2.5 years old.
The trash hound, 2.5 years old, or I'm sorry, not trash hound, Labrador, it's black lab. Okay.
Right.
Labs, they have a lot of energy. They are working dogs, and if you're not giving them work to do, they're getting into the trouble. I haven't seen too many labs if the people would start from the basics, and those basics involved do the physical exercise, do the mental exercise, and after provide them with appropriate toys, which I'm going to tell you which one to play with. I haven't seen too many dogs get into the trouble, especially labs. They're not susceptible to separation anxiety. Those Labrador Retrievers are just Democrats. They love everyone. They think everyone is a good guy. They want to have a peace with everyone. So here's what I would do it. I would get pinch collar by Hermspringer, German pinch collar with quick release, and put the 6-foot leash. And am I right, Mika? Right? Yeah, she's telling me I'm right. So we're going to put this collar and leash, and we're going to make sure your dog has a leash time. 2 times per day, especially before I leave my house. That dog should always have a 30 minutes leash time. What I mean by that, I would get him in my house, especially in this room where he is left alone, or in another rooms where you believe he makes the mess, or grabbing garbage and things like that, or in the backyard, whatever it takes, and do simple things, teaching him walking without pulling on the leash, do something against the grain. He wants to go ahead, turn around and snap the leash like I shown on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and type Russian Dog Wizard. I would focusing on the sit stay and down stay. 1 minute sit stay would takes as much energy from the black lab like 1 mile to run. So when I exhaust him a little bit like this way physically and mentally, I maybe put Cesar Millan favorite backpack on his shoulders and put a couple of bottle of vodka, Aquafinas for weights, and just make sure he gonna get much more tired, because tired dog is the good dog. And after that, I would definitely, provide him with appropriate toys, which I would be focusing on interactive toys. Interactive toys where the dog is chewing, playing, and kibbles falling from Kong toy you can fill with peanut butter and freeze it and give it to him for long-lasting pleasure. You just keep just adding the new toys, maybe create a few sets and give it to them. Now, I would definitely check my home and like FBI or KGB and look around and just pick everything which could be picked and which cannot be picked. I would protect it by using the spray, but you are focusing on stay away, get away, not the chew deterrent, scent deterrent. Just give a tip for everyone who is listening, citronella. Any citrus citronella desodorant would be one of my options. It keeps them away really in the big way. I'm saying a slogan right now. Good bloody. So that's what I will do. I will exercise him. I will make sure I will check the area, take everything which can be taken, which cannot be taken. I would put some bad scent on it, and that's what I'm gonna handle it for a while. And if I cannot handle this way, I probably will get something more decisive measures, and that would involve spying on him. I know right now it's another bad topic, but we're going to spy just on the dog. And how we're going to do it? We're going to put him in the room. We want to probably use a nanny camera, just a camera. We'll be in another room with a remote controllable device, could be or citronella oil, spray commander, or even electronic color, and just wait when he gets into the trash or something like that. From that time, you push the button, and that's going to be it. That's all my quick fix actions, my friend.
Well, certainly. I do appreciate it. That's something maybe that we're not doing is giving them enough exercise. And
Jerry, tired dog is the good dog. Tired kids sleep well.
Gerald, thank you for your call today to 1-866-405-8405.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, I'm Steve Garvey, and I'm here with my good friend, actor, and pet food guru, Dick Van Patten.
Hiya, Steve. It's good to see you.
Dick, my two dogs have been on your natural balance for years. They love it. They look great. So what's the secret?
It's simple. Our formulas are developed by top nutritionists and based on scientific fact. And then they're made with the best ingredients.
It's just a winning combination.
It is. Just like Russell to Lopes to Garvey.
Thanks for that. Hey, everyone. If you love your pets like I love mine, try Natural Balance.
When it comes to controlling cat box odor, there's no such thing as good enough. Buy the best or smell the rest. In other words, get World's Best Cat Litter with patented formulas made from whole kernel corn. World's Best Cat Litter is 100% natural and scientifically proven to deliver unsurpassed odor control, compact clumping, and longer-lasting use. See what a difference just one bag makes. And for a limited time, save big when you buy. To download a coupon, go to worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
Why read a newspaper in the age of the internet? Because you take the time to think things through, like your love of animals. You want to know where your voice and donations can be most effective. Animal People is the newspaper for people who care enough about animals to give real thought to how best to help animals. Request your free sample copy at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
Let's face it, life happens, from spills to pet stains. One Shot Plus Multipurpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, eliminating the need for other cleaning products. Pet stains, crayon marks, mildew, One Shot and it's gone. Safe for the environment, your pets, and your family. Call 1-866-734-1120 and mention Animal Radio. That's 1-866-734-1120. Or go to OneShotPlus.com to get yours now.
Hi, this is Judith Chapman from Young and the Restless at CBS, and I'm on Animal Radio right now, and I'm asking everyone out there to please spay and neuter your pets.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team here. Joy Turner is with us. Hey, Joy, how are you?
I
am absolutely marvelous. How's your world going?
Oh, splendid. Are you ready to talk to some animals?
Absolutely.
I believe we have, which one? Sandy? Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing good.
Where are you today?
Here in Pasadena, California.
Lovely Pasadena. How can we help you? Joy Turner, animal communicator extraordinaire, is at your beck and call.
Okay, I have a 13-year-old cat. I've had her since she was a year old. She's always been a good kitty, does her things in the box and everything. In the last 4 to 5 weeks, she has been doing her number 1, her pee, in the shower stall, and number 2, right outside of her box in the bathroom. And I have had her checked to see if she's sick or anything, and everything has come up negative. When she does this, I put her back into the box, hey, this is where you do your pees and poos, and she continues to do it in the middle of the bathroom.
Okay, so can you tell me her name?
Snuggles.
She's a little bit shy about talking. She knows that she's not making you happy, but she also thinks that she's trying to make a point, and she's being a little bit shy about telling me what that point is. But it doesn't feel like it's about her. Have you actually gone to a doctor to have yourself checked out?
No, I haven't.
She tells me she would like it if you would do that. And, sometimes animals can sense things that, well, actually, they can sense things even before medical science can find things. So maybe you want to look at how you're feeling and see if there's anything that feels a little off or a little tired or a little something like that.
I kind of have been feeling kind of off, a little out of sync.
Yeah, she wants you, and she doesn't care, she tells me, if it's a medical doctor, but she thinks you need to have somebody help you with that, because what she's showing me, and animals see our energy very easily, so what she's showing me in your energy is there is a little bit of, where the energy is normally light, it's a little bit darker, and so I would maybe get yourself checked out.
Okay. There has been a lot of stress in my life recently, and again, I haven't been feeling too well, and, I kind of have been putting off going to the doctor.
Time to go to the doctor. That's what I think. Okay. And, they pick up on this. Let us know how that goes, Sandy, and check in with us next week if you can. 1-866-405-8405 to talk to anyone of the Dream Team right now at Animal Radio. I'm supposed to tell you before we go to the phones here to talk to the doctor that you can get a bag of World's Best Cat Litter free of charge.
My favorite price, free.
Oh, you gotta love that.
If you would like a free bag of World's Best Cat Litter, and it truly is the World's Best Cat Litter. We've been using it here before they were ever a sponsor.
For years.
Made from whole kernel corn. It's that clumping litter that smells so good. Our dog actually likes the flavor.
Your dog
of it.
will love it. Yes, it's her favorite flavor.
She thinks it's a food bowl, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. It's corn. It's,
I don't think that's a good selling point.
Okay, I'm not going to mention that. I'm just going to say you can get a bag of it free. Head on over to animalradio.com and hit the World's Best Cat Litter logo and get your free bag of World's Best Cat Litter.
Which it is. Otherwise, they couldn't call it that.
This is
Animal Radio.
Animal Radio is brought to you by SeniorPetProducts.com. As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest with thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
If you're real smart, you're compiling all of Joey's tips into your own best-selling novel.
Oh, you just gave away how I was already doing that.
Probably
just cut me in.
I was calling them,
cut me in. I don't care.
It was so easy to change it. I was just calling them Judy's tips.
Judy's tips, and it really is close to Joey's tips.
Yeah, same amount of letters. I don't have to change.
Common mistake that anyone could make there. Anyway, these tips have saved me a lot of money. I've learned how to clear tear stains from my dog's eyes, as well as get rid of fleas and
skunk odor.
Skunk odor.
Yeah.
I used to think tomato juice was the way to get rid of skunk odor.
Yeah, that's what they used to always say.
That's old.
Too messy.
School. All of these over at the website at animalradio.com. And, of course, Joey brought to you every week by SeniorPetProducts.com. You like that website, don't you? You spend a little time over there, don't you?
We love seeing
I think his
pet
wife
products.
spends a lot of time over there.
She does.
She does. She spends a lot of time. I think they're cutting her in. I think she's now a stockholder in the company. So
right now she's probably getting it on both ends, so to speak, because she's getting the 25% off. I guess it was something I said.
You know. That's my wife now. Hey, hold on. Where are we going with this, Al?
Judy, I've never seen your face so red. It's almost worth it. She's probably a stock owner. And she's getting 25% off. Let me clarify that there. When she shops at seniorpetproducts.com. Now, what goes on in the Villani bedroom after hours is really none of my business.
You see, they're giving everything away now. Yes, I thought this was
the Addams Family. Anyway, now we know Senior Pet Products is really proud to be a sponsor of Animal Radio. We encourage you to head on over to seniorpetproducts.com. Get 25% off your entire purchase. All you have to do is put in your promotional code as soon as you get to the front page, right next to the Animal Radio logo. The promo code is Radio SPP, as in Senior Pet Products. Radio SPP, you'll get 25% off your entire purchase.
And you'll get it on both ends yourself.
Stop it!
The last person you would want to ever diss, ladies and gentlemen, the great Joey Villani on Animal Radio. Dogfather Joey Villani with your tip of the day. Or week,
well,
I guess.
You know what?
Yes.
Tip of the week. That's right, tip of the week.
Tip of the week.
I got a great tip for you because normally when I was back in New Jersey, we worried about this more in the winter than in the summer, but being out here in California, it's completely different. I have to worry about the snow too much being in Southern California. But anyway, I've watched a few people. Matter of fact, I was a little bit upset about something about a week ago, Hal and Judy.
What upset you, Joey?
I seen a woman walking her dog and on the blacktop, and it was real hot. And you know what? I mean, I don't know. It always seems like the dog is, uncomfortable to me. I don't know if he was or if he wasn't. Mm-hmm. So I took off my sandal and figured, let me see how hot the street was. And it was real, real hot. Mm. So what we used to do, and it was mainly in the winter, is we used to do, actually, it was, part of a pedicure, because I'm only going to give you part of it today because I may use the other part for another segment.
Okay.
But we used to do pedicures. Basically what we would do is we would fill a tub up, about maybe 2 inches. And we used to add, they had a special soap that would soften the dog's pads. It was put out by a company called Tropiclean. Great stuff. And you would stand the dog in there. Now, you can do it with... did you ever hear of you go in a health food store? It's that Castle soap.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yes.
It's really non-toxic, real nice. You can use that as well because it has with the peppermint, the eucalyptus, and whatnot. It actually will soften the pads, open up, and just really open everything up. And then what you want to do is let the dog stand in there for about 5 minutes. Take them out and all you got to do is take petroleum jelly and rub it in real good, massage it in. Now, you want to make sure that the hair in the pads is clipped down a little bit, either completely or short, because otherwise you're going to have a mess. Work it in real good, and what it is, it's like you getting a foot massage. It's the same thing. The dog feels great, and it keeps the pads soft. It keeps them healthy, and you know what? Also, what it does, my wife notices if she wears any type of nylons and the dogs jump up on it, usually it'll scrape them. Well, with our dogs, their pads, their feet are so soft that doesn't happen, unless their nail gets it, of course. But it'll keep your dog real comfortable, and also it'll just keep the pads of the feet nice.
Wow.
I like that. Easy tip. Easy tip.
It's an easy one. And you know what? It's definitely a bonding experience for you and your pet.
I feel so sorry. I feel like I've disrespected you. The whole intro of this segment I feel very embarrassed about right now, and I must apologize to you.
I'm embarrassed too now. I really am. Yeah, you could say I'm very embarrassed.
Will you accept my apologies?
Yeah, I'll accept it.
Do I have to kiss anything like your finger or anything like that?
His ring.
You can kiss the ring if you want.
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue. I'm
was a listener suggestion that time, huh? Do we know who suggested that? Bobby's closing her ears. She's covering her ears right now.
I'm listening to it, though, and just going, what in the...
It's Eiffel 65.
But I kind of like it.
Well, it's because we haven't been in the nightclubs in 10, 15 years.
It's very dance. It's very retro.
It is, and it just signifies
me too much of disco.
The sponsorship of Blue here. If you're brand new to Animal Radio, you probably can't figure it out, but we play a Blue song every time we do the Blue sponsorship, and we're taking your suggestions for Blue songs if you want to call us and let us know if we haven't played your favorite.
If it has Blue in the title or the lyrics, we can use it.
Because our sponsor is Blue Buffalo, makers of healthy and holistic natural food for dogs and cats. You love them like family, so feed them like family with Blue. Try out their brand new 100% grain-free recipe. Blue Buffalo. We got to get out of here. Remember, you can email us all week long at yourvoice@animalradio.com or call us. We have a voicemail attached to 1-866-405-8405. See you next week.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
We got it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Always adopt, don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio
Network.